Hi everyone, Anthony from Contractors Debt Recovery, and what we are doing today is having a quick tour of our site diary. We had plenty of people wanting to have just a quick squiz before they choose to purchase one for their organisation. So I've got a double page spread for you there just so that you can see exactly what we're dealing with, and we're going to go through what you put in which box just so that you can get familiar with it before you put it to use in your business. A few basics: it's 125 pages each volume, which means if you use it every day, you'll get a good 3 months mileage out of each diary. They're full color, A4 each page, easy to write in, easy to fill out, and proper 80 GSM paper. And you can either use it one diary per project, just record every day that you're on a particular project, or just use it for multiple projects. If you're running 3 or 4 things and you might be on 2 sites in a day, well, just put in 2 entries. So let's go to our first detail here, just running on from that comment, which is, you'll notice that this is undated. You can use this diary next year, you can use it tomorrow, it just doesn't matter. So up here you would put in obviously the date and what day of the week it is. It's always handy to know what day of the week we're talking about just at a glance. Down there, project details, put in the site address, your client, who you're working for, and importantly, who was the client's rep today. So who did you deal with? Sometimes you'll work for clients or builders or other companies where you might be dealing with 3 people on a site in rotation. So who did you deal with today? That goes in there. Weather's an important factor, especially if people want to argue about delays, which is not uncommon. So we want to know the role that weather has played on the work today, if any. So did weather, it didn't affect the rate of work? It slowed the rate of work? It halted work for a while? Why? Winds, rain, cold, heavy rain, extreme heat. And then here you want to know when work stopped. Work stopped between the following times. Now you put that in there because so that your client won't argue months down the track that you simply walked off the site that day. You may have had to stop for an hour while a storm blew over, something like that. So that's where you get to record those details. Down here, sometimes things have to happen on a site because of an external authority, the RTA, or now the Roads and Maritime Services, or whatever the authority is in your state. Council, union, Telstra, something or other has to happen on the site. You want to record that here. So the following things occurred due to a direction given by the following authority. So you've recorded that event. Over here, photos taken. This is to prompt you to take some photos either with a camera or on your mobile phone. And that is there so to prompt you to photograph certain parts of the work. So any key milestones you've hit on the work, or any key progress or damage, or whatever event requires a photograph to record it, this is there to prompt you and just to make a note of what you photographed today. Down here is delays. Okay, now this prompts you to record a number of things. First of all, what caused the delay? Was it another trade? Was it an external authority as per above? Industrial action? Did the client delay the work? Did your suppliers? Was there a site meeting? Did you have a lack of access? That's a big one. Rework or some other reason. Okay, so just tick the box. Details and times of delay events, record those in there. Work was delayed between so and so many hours because we had a site meeting or whatever it is. And this prompts you, is an extension of time notice required for these delays? So it prompts you to put that in if that delay gives rise to a notice, so you can fill that out and send it to your client. Over here, staff on site today. Who did you have working for you? 2 guys, 4 guys, 3 guys? There's a lot of argument about resourcing on projects, and here is where you get to say who worked today and what hours. Okay. Down the bottom, other events, site meeting, a payment dispute meeting, an off-site meeting, you can record those. And who from your company filled out this entry. The diary entry was completed by John Smith, signature. Over on this page is probably the more important page, which is a recording the actual work done. So we've got in this particular color here the contract work. So refer to the scope of works and detail what scoped works were done today. So you can list down in an abbreviated form, plus references, which would be either plans or drawings or some other reference that you might use. So you might, poured slab car park level 3 and a reference or something like that. So you want to show what part of your agreed scope works were done today. Below that, we've got variations and additional work done today. So line describe what variations you did, whether they were requested in a written form or oral, and references, which might be a site instruction number or your own variation number, variation document number, or some other reference, and be as specific as you can as to what you did today. This is a big one. Oral directions received that create a variation. So we were directed to pull out Windows on level 3 and replace. Direction was given by Roger, and maybe Roger's the bloke back up here whom you dealt with today. So all those works that you think create a variation, record them there, and then when you actually put a variation request to your client, you'll see that that document will refer back to this line item, so they tie off neatly to show the progress of the variation. Do you need to issue a notice that the instruction constitutes a variation? Do you need to issue an EOT? Again, these are very important prompts for you to put in a variation notice and for you to issue an extension of time notice if required for the variation. In the home stretch now, this is an important one. New plans and drawings issued today to replace those in the contract documents. So contract, plan number version, replacement. Now these might change throughout the course of the project several times, and you should be able to go back through your diary, noticing when all the plans were replaced, version 3, version 4, version 5, or Rev A, Rev B, Rev C, so that it's very clear when you were told to the scope of the work may have changed because you've been given updated plans. And we know how often that happens. And finally here, agreements made. Today the client's representative agreed to do the following. So it may be smaller agreements made between your client and yourself, such as site manager instructed us not to tidy up level 3 because the plasterers are coming in tomorrow anyway and they'll tidy it up. Things like that. Or if you're doing civil work, it may be that instead of carting the spoil off site, you were instructed to leave the spoil at the southern boundary of the property because it was going to be used by someone else the next day. All those little things that'll be a fight the next day or 6 months down the track, you want them recorded there and just sign it off or initial it, because that's contemporaneous evidence of those little agreements made that might be argued about months down the track. Alright, well that is a very quick overview of the site diary. You can buy them off our website. Grabbing a copy of our site diary is very, very simple. Just go to our website, contractorsdebtrecovery.com.au. You're looking at the screen right now. Just thought I'd draw your attention to our 93% cash recovery rate, just out of interest. Anyway, go up to the web shop, top right hand corner, give that a click, and scroll down. Second from the top is our site diary. You can watch a further video that I've recorded telling you a bit more about them. You can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 10 of them, add to the cart, buy them straight off the site, and then post it out to you the next day. So really just could not be easier.